Hi everyone, this is my first video and today we're reading Am I the A-hole? I found two stories that I think are amazing and I want to share them with you. So get your tea, get your cookie, settle down, get your blankie, and let's just hear what we have other people prepared for us. Am I the a-hole for not sleeping with my wife after she accused me of raping her? Whew, this one is gonna be interesting. Hi all, as the title says, my wife accused me the other day of raping her after sex, and it's making it really difficult to look at her anymore. For context, me and my wife have been married for 7 years and did it for 4 years prior. We've told each other everything there is to be told. She knows that I was molested as a child by my older brother, and I know she went through something similar. What? When we first started dating, she told me her ex used to rape her, and that really pissed me off so much that I found his work through his Facebook, found the time he got to work, literally by ringing them and asking, and even found that bus he took to and from work. I really was ready to go to prison over this. Thankfully, a chance call from my wife stopped me from doing something I would now regret. Now with that out of the way, you can understand my feelings going forward. Last week, while me and my wife were cuddled up post alone time, she says to me, "You know, technically you raped me." Naturally, I was both shocked and confused by this statement, especially since she was the one to initiate and drag me on top of her. So I asked her what she meant. She told me, "Well, I didn't actually want sex. I only did that because I knew you wanted it." This one sentence has me questioning our whole relationship. How many times has she done something like this in the past where she felt pressured into having sex without me even realizing it? Was she confusing sexual frustration with work frustration? Was it not being kind enough to her for her to think this way? Was this what she meant when she said her ex raped her? Was I really willing to go to prison all those years ago over something like this? Over a misunderstanding? Don't come after me because of this. But I actually think that a lot of women do have sex with male just because we know you want it. It's not something to be either proud of or embarrassed. No, it's just women and men have different libido, and so that's fine. I feel like that's really okay if you love someone and you are willing to, start your body up, then you just do it, but you don't say to somebody raped you if you had a choice to say no and you didn't. I've had a lot of questions these last few days, and every time my partner goes to initiate sex, all I can think about was that night. Will she accuse me of raping her again? Have I been moodier than normal? Why is she doing this? Is it actually because she wanted sex or just another case of doing it because she thinks this is what I want? I've mentioned my concerns to her and told her I don't feel comfortable having sex with her at the moment after her accusations, but she tells me I'm overreacting it and should just take what's being offered. What? So, am I overreacting and being the a-hole? Or are these feelings valid? Of course her feelings are valid. I know this is a strange place to get validation from, but me and her share the same friend group, and I've not exactly got any family I can trust to open up about this, so I can only anonymously post here to vent and be judged. You will not be judged, my dear. You won't. Let's get to the comment sections. That's where it all gets crazier. Not the a-hole. Her response to you saying that you don't feel comfortable having sex due to her accusations is somewhat disturbing. You should take it. What's being offered is exactly what you did. And then she essentially weaponized that against you, knowing your traumatic history. How are you to know if the next time she initiates, she won't turn around and say the same thing? That's very dark, dude. I don't want to be armchair psychiatrist, so I'll just say this. If you want to save this marriage, you need to go to couples therapy. Someone clinically trained. She may need more help individually. If I was you, I would start documenting things and wouldn't have sex with her until you get into therapy. You can't risk further accusations. Although, even if you don't have sex, she might run around her narrative anyway. You really need to protect yourself, or someone else might locate you and do to you what you were going to do to her ex. This is actually very valid. I think first of all, you need to figure out what actually happened between her and her ex. I think that would be a really good start. Just to see where her thoughts are, how does she see the situation? Did she mean the same thing with her ex? That happened to you? Or just see. Then this one really gets me. The real issue is she doesn't seem to understand how what she is saying affects OP, or even empathizing with OP's trauma only get on. This kind of selfish outlook where you only think about yourself makes relationships impossible. This is definitely something that should be worked on. Absolutely. And I wonder if that's what she claims her ex did, and took it down a notch where LP was willing to go to jail and dealing with her ex, or maybe ex did really grape her. It makes it harder for actual victims to come forward and be believed. I was fully expecting LP to say he'd carried on after she said no. I wholly apologize for that thought. No, he did not do that. So this story is valid because I feel like this, he wants it and I don't want it, makes sense. But also, I just feel like if you have a chance to say no and then you just don't say it because you choose not to say it, and you just kind of sacrifice yourself and willingly go into it, that's kind of on you. Not gonna lie. And the second one I want to share. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother's girlfriend she can't expect me to treat her kids like I treat mine, and that she's not entitled to anything from us? I, 32 female, have 2 sons with my husband, a 10-month-old and a 3-year-old. I obviously love my kids, but I don't really like other kids, especially kids I don't know well. I'm just not maternal type that will want to interact with other kids or find them cute or whatever. My brother has been dating his girlfriend Natalie, 31, female, and she has 2 kids as well, 7 male and 5 female. When we first met Natalie, she seemed excited that I have kids and started planning how our kids will bond and play together. This did not happen, and the main reason is the age difference. Again, my kids are 3 years old and 10-month old. Yeah, I don't know how she expected that. I don't know how she imagined that her 7-year-old will bond so well with my baby, or someone 4 years younger than him. Her 5-year-old daughter is a different situation. She's very rowdy, so my oldest avoids her at all costs when we meet during family functions or whatever. Despite our kids clearly not being well, I would say we were nice towards Natalie and her kids. Last Christmas, for example, the first Christmas since they got together, we gave gifts to her kids when we met at my parents' place for dinner. And I thought that was enough. However, Natalie decided to confront me on things I apparently did wrong and hurt her feelings. 1. I do not show a special interest in her kids that will potentially become my niece and nephew in the future. 2. I refuse to have her kids over at my place for play dates without her being present. To be clear, I'm okay with hosting her, my brother, and her kids for a dinner or something. 3. I refuse to make my son like her daughter. 4. I'm cold towards her kids. You see, this is where it gets tough. I feel like I got that you're saying that you are not a maternal, but how cold are you towards her kids? If you're in some gathering and they come to you and they ask, hey, can you help me get this off the table? Or could you please hand me that thing? Would you just turn around and say no? Or how cold are you? Are you like ignoring them? Or are you still able to meet their needs if you were the only adult around, or if you are the adult they're coming to for help? You know what I mean? I explained to her that I can't and will not force my kid to play or being friends with anyone, as you should. I also said that I'm not comfortable having her kids in my house without her present. I do not know her kids that well. I have no idea how they behave outside of a few family settings that we have all attended, and I do not want to be responsible for 2 stranger kids in my house. On the coldness side, I explained to her that I'm not cold on purpose, but this is how I am as a person. I'm not a kids fan, I'm not overly maternal, and I simply don't feel like being overly excited over kids. She said that this is not true because she saw that I'm everything I claim I'm not to be with my kids. Well, yes, because they're my own children. She also claims that everyone has been excluding her children. When I asked her how, she gave me the examples from above, and I claimed that my parents are more affectionate towards my kids. Yes, again, because they're their grandkids. In the end, we were not getting anywhere, so I told her, look, Natalie, you started dating my brother 1 year ago. My parents and I had a couple of meetings with you and your kids, and everyone was nice to you all. I don't know what's your problem, but you need to speak to my brother. No one is excluding your kids, but you can't expect us to treat your kids same as mine. This is never going to happen. My kids are my kids. They don't owe anything to yours, and you are not entitled to anything from us. Please solve these issues with my brother. Okay, so I have an opinion here. I know her kids are not your kids, and I know her kids biologically are not the grandkids of your parents. But if she becomes a part of your family, if your brother is marrying her, they become his kids. If he accepts them as his kids, her kids will be treated exactly the same how your kids are from your parents' side. Your parents will treat them like their grandkids and get exact same treatment and get exact same things done to them that they get done to your kids. So saying that her kids will never be treated the same or welcomed the same way to that family is a bit of a red flag. My brother apologized for her and mentioned to me she sounded like a mad woman focused on the absurd differences she sees when it comes to our kids. He agrees our parents are not doing anything wrong and that I am not doing anything wrong. He knows me and he is aware I'm not doing anything on purpose. He said that Natalie has been crying after our discussion, and while he agrees with me, he asked if I can try being more empathetic. I told him that I am polite to her, but she seems manipulative, and if she doesn't want to hear the truth, she should not start this kind of discussion with me. My brother is lost. He does not know how to manage this madness, and I'm honestly confused if I did anything wrong when speaking to her. As I said, I don't think you're wrong on saying to her that I'm sorry, I'm not as maternal of other kids as I am of mine. Totally. But I'd have this opinion that you should never speak for other people, because this brings kind of responsibility for them. So if you say my parents will never treat your kids like they do mine, that puts a responsibility on you for what you said and what you decided for other people. So I don't know if that's a good thing to say or to do. I might be wrong too. Let's get to the comments. Not a a-hole. She was hoping to leave them with you for date nights and weekends away. You just slaughtered that dream and she's not happy. She isn't just trying to manipulate OP. She's trying to manipulate OP's brother too. She is acting like it's out of the norm for grandparents to treat grandkids better than their son's girlfriends of 1-year kids. It's not. She is acting like it is unfair, so her boyfriend will speed run the relationship and quickly get married to her, so her kids become grandkids. OP's brother sees the craziness but not the manipulation. She's going to keep harping on it being unfair, so he feels bad for her and legitimizes the relationship and her kids' role in that family. Right now, he sees both sides. That girlfriend's feelings are heard, and his sister's acknowledgement of the actual reality of the situation is legitimate. So how can he win both sides? Marry the girlfriend, and then she can point out how unfair OP is being and have this conversation all over again. He's going to either dump her or start to wave and double down in his commitment to her in order to protect her from feeling like she doesn't belong. 100% I bet she's pushing for marriage soon if she hasn't already. Oh, we have an update. Let's go. I have received a lot of feedback on my original post, and for that I'm very grateful. I tried replying to as many of you as I can, but it is overwhelming and my DM is full. But I have read your comments and I really appreciate you spend some time to talk to me. I will clarify some points that keep being mentioned, and then I will get into the update. Many of you pointed out that Natalie is looking for an instant family. I was not used to this term, but yeah, after reading your comments and looking for more information, I agree that this seems to be the case. Many of you asked about her family and her kids' father/grandparents. I don't know much about them. My brother told us something along the lines she has a complicated relationship with her family, and we did not insist for more details. We considered that this to be her privacy and assumed that we will get more info when she is ready. Natalie's 7-year-old son has no intent in the kids, not even for his sister who is 5. My baby is 10 months old, so except of his food, laughing, and being entertained, he has no interests at the moment. My 3-year-old son doesn't like Natalie's daughter because, as I mentioned, she is rowdy and too much for him. She's not used to play with little kids, so she broke one of his favorite toys and pushed him on 2 different occasions, making him land on his butt. This led to my son clinging to me, my husband, or my parents each time he's around her. The most overwhelming part of this post for me was receiving a lot of messages from people who told me how they were forced to play with kids they didn't like and how this affected them. I'm really sorry for all of your experiences, but I guarantee you, I will not do the same to my kids. I would rather have people calling me names that force my kids to do something they are not comfortable with, only to feed my ego and make myself seem as a nice person. In case I was not clear, I'm a mother first, and my main priority is to be an ally to my kids, not be a saint or seen as the most amazing woman alive. Many of you accused me of not making time to bond with Natalie and her kids, even after her dating my brother for a year. To be clear, up until this point, I only met her kids 4 times. I think people missed some details in regarding to timing. Natalie started dating my brother last year around February. Last year, I was pregnant. I gave birth, and after that, I had to raise a newborn baby and a toddler. So yeah, sorry to disappoint some of you for not abandoning my kids at home to meet my brother's latest girlfriend. I'm a very nasty person for raising my kids. I love the irony. Some of you seem to be very social people who are able to form bonds with new people in the matter of hours upon meeting them. I'm not like this. For me, it takes time to grow a relationship, get used to someone, and be able to get comfortable. So in my books, the people who I have seen only 4 times in my entire life are still strangers. Lastly, I was accused of being a cruel person for not being willing to be Natalie's village. I'm sorry if she is in a position of needing a village instead of already having people willing to help her. But I have no obligations to be anyone's village. At this point in time, I am my family's village, meaning my husband, my kids, and my pets. I have enough excitement daily with my gremlins. My oldest, although a calm and cute kid, is a pain in the ass that needs to be supervised all the time. If I don't supervise him all the time, he will sneak and eat the cat's food or insert his fingers into the wire sockets. By the way, a genuine question for all parents who have 3-year-old kids. Are all the kids so kamikaze? Or only mine is this level of menace? So yeah, I don't need 2 additional stranger kids into my home, unsupervised by their parents. Sue me! Now the upgrade. After reading all of your replies, I understood my brother is not being fair. He asked me to be understanding of Natalie's situation, but is he understanding of mine? I don't think so. So I sent him the following message. Quotes. Hey, brother, I had some time to think about the entire situation and I want to share my thoughts with you. First of all, I did something that might make you mad and you might not agree with me, but please keep it an open mind and read what I'm about to send to you. I made a post on Reddit and asked about my situation with Natalie, and the replies were mostly pointing to the same direction. Maybe you'll want to see some unbiased feedback from hundreds of people who don't know us and are able to have a clearer perspective. No, I feel like you were not fair towards me. I understand you have a relationship with Natalie and she is your life partner, but it seems very selfish of you to put the burden on me. I understand Natalie may have some issues with her family. She may desperately need to feel accepted and to have a big family for her and her children, but her struggles were not caused by me. You asked me to be understanding towards her, but were you understanding towards me? Did you defend your nephew when he was pushed twice by Natalie's daughter? Did you even explain to Natalie she is expecting too much from your sister who is dealing with a baby and a toddler? Did you defend your parents when Natalie commented about them? I'm sorry it got to this point, but I will be honest. My main priority will always be my family, not Natalie, not her kids. I am not a therapist. I am not an emotional support animal, and I am not her punching bag for times when things don't go her way. I love you. I am happy if you are happy, but I need some space from the toxicity she brings. You have known me since I was a baby. You know how I am, so please set the record straight with her and explain that I will never be what she wants. After around an hour, he replied, "Oh, Shit, give me some time to read everything and gather my thoughts. I will come over at your place and just give me some days, please. Love you. Now the bag is in his court. You were right. Natalie is his girlfriend, so his problem. Let's see how things turn out after he comes to talk. But I'm keeping my expectations low. Let's read the comments here. I almost burned down my parents' house and dad needed to call an electrician for repairs. I messed with the toy train, set speed control by plugging into the wall and then taking the wires that went to the tracks and sticking them into Alex socket. Huge black mark on the wall that looked like lightning. Half the house lost power. Dad had to repaint and deal with electrical damage. I'd say I was maybe 7, 9 years old. I'm a boy, and my sister was more saintly than I was. We had an electric heater built into the wall in our bathroom when I was little. My favorite thing to do when I'd get up to pee in the middle of the night was to stick toilet paper between grates and watch it burn. Good luck! Oh my gosh, I'm sick at the moment of a little hazy from meds, but you post gave me a hard LOL. Thank you, and your parents were clearly saints. They have never found out until I fessed up as an adult. I was a really well-behaved little girl who just wanted to watch it all burn. Toddlers are basically aliens that you have to teach how things work on this planet. Some will say boys are worse than girls, but really, it depends on how naturally independent they are. My daughter was very independent and creative, so main toddler issues were finding her when she escaped and cleaning up her creative adjustments to the house. Also, the excuses and reasons for why she did something, like she colored the walls because the fairy in her bedroom wanted to see some blue flowers. My son was more clingy and calm, but super into fixing things, endured. So main issues with him were getting more than 10 feet away before he would follow me, him trying to help fix things that didn't need to be fixed and causing damage, and the screaming fits at the bath time when I cruelly took away his dirt by washing his body. Love reading about all of those kids. I think it's hilarious. But you can see how my opinion is very different from OP's opinion and people in the comments. I think that if he is serious with his girlfriend, then you as a family have to be more open. Anyway, tell me what you think. Write it in the comments. Get the like on the video. And send me your stories to read.